but you'd never be able to get there. Okay, because
Too many steps.
wait until you see what I have to give you today. Yes, here it is, I think. This is one problem. And I have photocopied it for you because I don't want you busy copying step by step. And I thought I'll do the problem on the board and I'll give it to you because I don't want you to copy it and spend your time writing. Okay? But this is one step. And Kayla, that's where we're going. To many steps. And to be honest, that's why a lot of kids struggle in Algebra 2. Algebra 1 is like, okay, 1 or 2 steps. And at this point, this is not about memorizing steps. This is about thinking, what else can I do? And can I simplify this further? And it's using everything, for instance, this step right here, going from here to here, don't you know that? We know that when we are dividing by a fraction, that's what it means. It's this quantity divided by that, and I can use the reciprocal. So it's really pulling together everything that you know to solve equations. Okay. Any other questions then on these? Last night's homework? Anybody? Okay. All right, so what I'd like you to do is take out your calculator, and I'm going to give you two problems to do, because we haven't really talked about this, but just as we have used quadratic, we've used 3 different methods to solve quadratics. And what were those 3 methods?
Graphing,
Quadratic formula.
factoring, and
Quadratic formula.
Factoring.
And factoring, okay? And graphing is a big one. And we haven't really talked about how we're going to use graphing to do this. So I would like you to try on page, okay. All right. Then this is on page 5.
Do you have any more of this colored paper?
Perhaps in that bin.
No, she was giving.
Okay. All right. What I would like you to do is let's try to graph these. So I have
On our calculator?
yep, on a calculator. So actually, before I begin that, I just want to explain something to you. If I had given you 1 equals 1/2 x and y equals negative x plus 3, and I said solve for x, couldn't I use substitution and set them even to each other? And I know that 1/2 x equals negative x plus 3, and I could solve it algebraically, right? I could do that. But if I wanted to do it by graphing, how would I do that?
Graph the 2 equations and find the intercept.
Yeah, I would graph y equals, and I would graph y equals, and I would look for where those 2 points intersect. Okay, so that's what we're going to do here. Follow these steps to solve the equation. And we're going to graph y equals this, and we're going to graph y equals this. And let's see what happens on our calculators. So I have what, 2x minus 1. And the other one is what? 1 Okay, so when we graph that, whoops, I have, sorry. This is not what you are seeing, I'm trying to get out of here. So you might have to turn your plots off. I don't remember yesterday we had those on. And my window isn't working very well, so I'm gonna go to Zoom 6. Okay. Now it's clear, I don't like that window. I can't clearly see where the two of them are. So do I need what?
Zoom fit.
Zoom fit. And in this case, where is it? Okay, and okay, so I can see that they're pretty close. And what, just like over here, what am I looking for?
Intersection.
The intersection. So I could go probably with a trace. And let's see, where's my mouse? There it is. And it's somewhere in here, right? And I could do either an intersection, but the other thing that we haven't really talked a lot about is I'd like you to look at your second button and this table right here. And, sorry, I'm hitting the wrong button, I wanted to hit Zoom. Okay, so hit the second, and it's the table button. And there are all these errors. Why is that?
Yeah, mine doesn't have that many errors.
Mine has
Yours
like
are-
3 errors and then it has.
Okay, so look at your domain.
I have no errors.
Look at, well, I don't know where your cursor is right now, but is it possible, let's go back to the graph,
Oh, mine doesn't have any negatives.
Now I see all the errors.
okay? Why did I have all those error messages?
Negative.
I can't have a square root of a negative number, okay? So what I need to do in my table, I'm gonna go back to that, and I can see all these negative numbers. I want to scroll over to what? Oh, and all of a sudden I can see that there are numbers that are positive, right? And can we figure out more or less where they are the same? 1, 9, 2. It's hard to see exactly. It's somewhere in here. You can see that there may be approaching that point of intersection. So you can, it's just interesting for you to look at the table occasionally, because when you look at that, it's like, yeah, there can't be negative numbers, because I know that if I tried plugging them into the equation, that I'd end up with a negative number under the radical. Okay? So if I tried to put in, could I have anything less than 3 here? Okay, so I can't have anything less than 3 because I'd end up with a negative number, and that's where you're getting your error. Okay? All right, so are you ready?
Yeah.
Everybody understand? So what is the disadvantage of using a calculator?
It's not exactly.
It's not as accurate, but what is the advantage?
Quick.
Quick, gives you an idea where if your answer is accurate. So please remember, always check your work with a calculator. All right, you should always be looking. All right, are you ready? Okay? Drum roll. And you are not copying this down, but you may glue this into your book at some point, in your notebook or whatever. All right. Is everybody ready?
Yeah. Can we have it when you, like,
Do you want me to give it to you as
I
a...
would like it now.
Yeah,
Okay.
me too.
It might be easier to copy.
Okay, it may be, but on the same token, if I'm pointing at things on the board, it's nice if you're watching what I'm pointing at. I mean, I don't care. No, 1, 2.
You don't have your permit, so.
I'm actually driving dead right now.
Okay. All right, are you ready?
Thank you, Mike.
So I have two things to teach you. I'm going to walk you through this one problem, and I'm going to walk you through another problem, and that's it. Okay? So in this case, I have x plus 2 plus, well, rad x plus 2